Earlier today.
In this video, Michelangelo will show you how to create some fancy stuff in Blender. I'm Barack Obama, and this is Mick Does Things.
Thank you, former Mr. President, for the introduction. The good guys at 3D Scan Store have released back in February 2022 a new and completely free tool called the Multi Expression Basemesh. So when Jonny, all the way from Brisbane, asked me to show you how to use it in Blender, I thought I'd spend some time creating a tutorial that could benefit all of you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Around 3 months ago, I've shared on my channel a face rig I created in Blender using 3D Scan Store Multi Expression Basemesh. The goal of this tool is to provide you with the capability to incorporate scan-based facial expression into your head sculptures. All the expressions included in the package were captured using photogrammetry and then applied to their super average basemesh. Back in 2016, I even had the opportunity to go and see their studio and even got scanned by them. If you take a look at the various assets available on the 3D Scan Store, you will realize straight away how they are best in class. All the heads, for example, share the same topology, so any face texture map you buy from the store have the same UVs, so if I'm working on sculpting a semi-realistic head, I always start from one of their base meshes. Let's see how we can set it all up in Blender and how to use drivers to simplify our animation workflow. In Blender, let's start by importing our neutral face. Then we can go ahead and import our second pose. For this example, I will be using a wide mouth open. Select your neutral pose first, then the second one you have imported, and in the Object Data Properties tab, under Shape Keys, choose Join as Shapes. If you then change the value, you can change the morphing between the two poses in your 3D viewport.
That's a good one!
Let's now create an empty that we will use to drive the animation more easily. Add your empty, name it Mouth Open for example, and then, back in your Object Data Properties tab, right-click on the value and choose Add Driver. In principle, what we are aiming to do is to tell the driver to use any object, in our case the empty we've created, to react based on the Z location. So when we move the empty up and down, the driver will trigger the animation. In the driver properties, select the object you want to use and choose Z location. And as you can see, when I now move the empty up and down, the morph between the two poses is happening in real time.
Wow.
One other thing I found useful to do is to lock in the Object Properties tab the X and Y value of our empty. This helps when you're animating to keep your empty always in the correct position. If you want to see your empties a bit better in the viewport, you can go into Preferences, Themes, 3D Viewport and change the color of the empty to whatever you prefer. I hope you guys find this useful. Thanks again, Jonny, for your request, and I will see you in the next one.
Hello.
Security. How did this guy got my number?